Hello, and welcome to Channel Divinity, a 5th edition actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast. I'm Trent. I will be the DM and host for this adventure. Going around the table, we have...
I'm David, and I play Cassiel.
I'm Dean, and I play Vesper Ravenwing.
I'm Gordon, and I play Blank.
Awesome. All right, last time on Channel Divinity, the hunt has finally begun, the buck hunt. The party went out to hunt. They went to the north
Gotta get a big one.
Gotta get a big one. After receiving a special gift from Stag, which was a giant sunflower seed-looking thing. Once they got in the woods, it started pointing in the right direction for them to go. It gave them a very big boost to the skill challenge that I had set for them. And they were able to find an enormous moose. After killing it and bringing back the meat, they ran briefly into the masked hunter, who completely brushed off Vesper, didn't even look at him.
It was rude.
Yes, it was. No one seemed to have a bigger moose head than them. After the party had a brief dinner, they decided they were going to head out and camp that night so they could make up some ground. That way they could get a good hunt the next day for the second day of the hunt. That is where we would be picking up after the party has already moved 3 to 4-ish hours into the woods to the north. Again, they have set up camp, and they are now sitting around the campfire.
Blink. Blink.
Girls.
Alright, let me get into this accent real fast. Okay. Blink. I told you earlier that we'd talk about your experience with your brother, was it?
That's right, yeah.
You talked really fast last time. You're very excited.
Yeah.
Tell me it again, but this time go a little slower so I can understand it.
Okay, so essentially what happened was I got this little assignment from my dad. And we went out into the clearing where all the deer and the stag were, and this giant golden stag came up to me and introduced himself as my brother.
He talked to you?
He talked to me, yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I'm with you.
Definitely the first deer that I've met talked to me.
Yeah.
Do you talk to animals often?
Usually, but they don't usually speak back.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of the best part about animals in interest. I don't know.
I've heard there's a spell for that, but
I think some
I need to learn that
wood-gnomes
one.
can do it.
But Stag hasn't taught me that yet.
that's fine.
I'd like to learn that soon. But after that, he gave me this little piece of his antlers to remember him by, I guess.
And he holds out the piece.
Is it still like glowing?
Yes, it
Oh,
is
it's still glowing?
It is still glowing.
That's
and
really
sparkling.
cool. Yeah, so I kind of like hold it out to you guys. I'll let you guys hold it if you guys want.
Oh, I don't need to hold it, but it looks quite amazing.
I'd
you.
hold it.
All right. And he passes it over to Vesper.
Okay, Vesper takes it gingerly, and then
It crumbles. It turns to dust.
he just like looks it over.
It's just a piece of an antler.
He's gonna
that's
bring
golden glowing.
his seed out, see if it reacts at all to it.
It does not. It does not react to it.
Well, Blank, I think, and he hands it back to Blank. Your family's got some interesting magic in it.
Definitely got some interesting magic in it, for sure.
You're pretty unique too. I don't think I've ever met anyone who's like made of wood like you. Have you? I guess.
I've never met anyone like me.
Some sparks shoot out of the back of his head.
What?
Have you ever tried to get that looked at?
Oh, what looked at?
The injury on the back of your head that sparks.
I have an inch. What?
I'll take that as a no.
What? No.
You're all
You're
right.
taking what?
I remember you saying something about stars too, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let me think.
And by the way, you can always trigger, now that you've noticed it, you can always trigger the star map in your wrist.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of like hold out my left wrist and the little prism slides up into my palm and it opens up this like star map.
Well, that's interesting. Do you
Whoa.
think... Are you into astronomy or something?
I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I might get into astronomy.
Can he hand it?
So once the prism, it clicks into his palm, and then light shines out from his palm, and that's what shows the star map above it. So he can't hand the prism out while the star map is going, but if he takes the prism out of his hand and the star map goes away, he could hand the prism to someone else.
Can I see that map?
Yeah, and I slide over from my like rock to whatever you're sitting on, like a log or whatever, and kind of like move my hand over to show you the map.
Where I grew up, the people were very into astronomy. My mother was also into it, so I've seen a few charts in my days, but I wasn't super familiar with it myself. Maybe I'll take a look at it after he's done with it.
For sure, yeah. I would love to get your thoughts on this.
It's a pretty big map too. Like, sorry to interrupt you, Gordon, but it's a pretty big map too. You can definitely see it while he's looking at it as well. It's not like a small thing.
Okay.
It's like think of like a Star Wars like hologram panel thing. That
so it's
appears in the
like
sky.
3D, so it's not 2D like shooting.
No,
up
yeah,
like
it's
that.
like 3D.
Oh,
that's
like
really
the cool Obi-Wan scene where he like zooms in on a...
Or
Yeah,
Treasure
kind of.
Planet.
Yes. Treasure Planet-esque. Treasure Planet-esque.
Does it have like lines connecting the constellations in
good
3D?
Yes.
That's sweet. Okay, cool.
Treasure Planet is a good
Okay,
movie.
that is a lot cooler than I thought it was.
So as at the sound of you like talking about your ancestry being interested in astronomy, he's gonna sit in between both of you. That way you guys can get close. But he's like mainly showing it to Vesper, but he also wants to make sure you have a good view of it.
For sure.
Can I roll some kind of history check, but based on my navigator's tool proficiency?
Ooh. Yes, actually you can. That's actually a really smart thing. Make it a wisdom check though, not
Wisdom?
not an
Okay.
intelligence-based thing.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, yeah, navigator's things feels wisdom-y to me.
I don't know. It's got its own proficiency because it's a tool.
Yeah,
but like
technically.
But you add a stat to tools too.
Yeah.
It's just kind of up to the DM to decide
I think it
which
would be
stat is.
it'd probably
Would a
wisdom like
survival
survival
use? Yeah, I would
almost.
use
Yeah,
wisdom.
just use wisdom.
I rolled an 18, and
Oh,
so that's a 22. Yeah, 22.
Ooh, yikes. All right, so you look at this star map, and you can recognize several of the constellations, several of the star locations from your navigating tools. You remember from the places you've been, but you can clearly tell that this is not one of the places you've been. No, well, not one of the places you've spent a long time in, at least.
Can I tell a direction compared to where I've been of what I'm seeing that I recognize? So like I'm like, oh, I see
Yes.
the edge here and the edge there, so you're north of this island and east of this island.
You know, you've spent a lot of time on Zonari.
Yeah.
You know that from Zonari, it is to the east.
I was going to say, with my mom and maybe the star chart she had, do I recognize this at all?
You can roll a history check for me.
Natural 20.
Let's go.
But my intelligence is a +0, and I'm not proficient.
See, I want to do something like cool and special for you, but your mom would not have had a star map like this.
Okay. Well,
so
that's true. It wouldn't have been the same.
yeah, unfortunately, while you can remember all of her star maps with crystal clarity,
Whew, yeah.
this is not one of the star maps she would have had.
Cool.
So Blink, where'd you get this map?
I got it. I actually don't know where I got it from. It's just a part of me.
In you?
Yeah. So when I was having the conversation with the stag,
As one does.
as one does for sure. Yeah. Wait, you have conversations with stags?
You know, I'm close to animals.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Have you met this guy? I don't think he gave me his name, but
I have not met that
oh,
guy.
okay.
I like animals too.
Oh, cool.
Like on the dinner plate.
Oh.
Some potatoes and mashed potatoes and gravy by them.
I don't know what that tastes like, but as long as you don't eat my brother, we're
Oh
good,
no,
right?
I would never eat family.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's north of
East.
or east of Zonari.
Oh, where's that?
Zonari is another island that is
It's in the middle of almost the whole world.
It's
of
in the
all
middle of the
islands.
of this archipelago of islands that we got here.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Yeah, and so Acheta is west of Zonari, correct?
Yes.
So yeah, if you traveled a couple days on by sea east, you'd reach Zonari, and then you go a little. I recognize some of those stars. So if you went a little further east, that's like where those stars come from.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to. I'm definitely gonna want to find that at some point. Wait,
Yeah.
so you're from Zonari? What's that like?
Yeah, I'm not from Zonari, but
okay.
I'm from Hidalga.
Oh,
That's the jungle island that is.
North of Acheta and west of Zonari.
I've looked at this map like one time that Trent showed me.
I have a map.
Trent, is Shays north and east of Acheta?
Shays is super north.
Shays is directly north
Okay.
of Zonari, and it is north and east of Acheta. Yes.
Okay.
But it is like
It's way
north.
Okay.
Yeah, so Wait, Hidalga is north of Acheta?
Yes.
Yeah, so I come from an island that's north of here. It's
okay.
like jungly. That's where my people are from. What else? But I spent a lot of time on Zonari. That's where I formed an adventuring group, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty
Whoa.
cool.
Wait, so why are you not with them?
Well, they had other stuff. They had to. They're dead.
Oh, and he
Yeah.
kind of just like looks down at the ground and like looks over at Cassiel and is just like
So,
Sorry.
just glancing back and forth.
Yeah, I don't like talking about it a lot, but I mean, I'm open. You don't know anything about Zonari, do you?
No, I don't.
There's a lot of zombies there.
There's a lot of zombies. What are zombies?
So picture me.
Okay.
Picture me dead.
Oh,
And then picture me walking and moving and trying to eat Cass's brains.
you'll have
wow.
a feast if you do that.
So you're like the dead walking. That's what a zombie is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're undead is what we call them.
They're undead.
Yeah. So it's not natural. But anyways, we got ambushed by a pretty big group.
Oh.
And I'm actually writing a book about my adventure.
You're writing
and he
a book?
pulls out his biography, or is biography or autobiography that you're writing about yourself.
I think it's autobiography.
Autobiography.
He pulls out his
Something to do with
autobiography that he's writing. And he's like, yeah, I got it right here. It kind of was a journal at first, but then I decided to make it more like an autobiography.
That's really interesting.
Were you and your group perchance adventuring into one of the Zans over there?
We didn't go into them. We were more like guides. Well, I mean, we did go into the Zans sometimes, but most of the time we were guides for like either merchants that were trying to cross Zonari. Sometimes we went there purposely, to get loot, I guess, for the reason people go in Zans, I guess. What?
You would know Zans are where you can mine magicite.
Oh, yeah.
It grows inside the Zans.
Yeah, so we'd go to mine magicite, which maybe you should explain what that is.
Yeah, okay, so real quick, Zans are these kind of underground magical dungeons where first magicite, which is a pure white crystal, glows, which can be used in many different ways. One of the ways is in order to cast a spell of not third level of higher, but a fourth level or higher, you need some specialized powdered magicite in order to cast a spell. That's kind of like my way of doing material costs, but only for higher level spells. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that. I might not do it, but that's just the idea right now. But it's used in many different ways. It's used to fuel a lot of magical machines, and there's a ton of research being done on magicite.
It's kind of like a currency, almost.
Almost, yeah. But it grows in the Zans, and so the Adventurers Guild, or the Hunters Guild is what it's called, they go into the Zans, and they mine the magicite, and they kill the monsters that kind of just spawn there. And sometimes they find treasure, and they can also potentially find special treasure called relics, which are like magic items, but they grow when you put a soul into them. And I'm going to go more in detail with that when the party gets a relic. So don't worry about that.
If we get a relic.
If they get a relic, that's fair.
Yeah.
Come on, I trust ourselves. We can get a relic. It'll be
the
one.
next bear encounter. Team wipes us. So
Oh. Ooh.
Well, anyways, yeah. So that's why I'm not with them anymore.
He just nods slowly.
Yeah.
how long did you adventure with them?
It like each one was a different amount of time. I had a different there's a couple of us. So like one of them, Sable, I was with her for like the longest amount of time. And then we had a couple other people join our group as well.
I've got to ask, sorry if this is offensive at all, I don't think it is, though. With elves, it's kind of hard to tell our age. How old are you?
You're gonna make me like...
We're gonna make you roleplay age? How dare you?
I wrote on my paper that I have the maturity of a 24-year-old. Whatever that is in elf years.
I have no idea.
I
feel like that's
40,
in the 40s
50?
or something.
Yeah.
It's like barely come of age, basically.
So,
right?
yeah, 'cause
Or I
elves-
guess come of age is like 18 or so.
Elves
or
like
younger,
become
but-
officially like adults at like 100.
Wow.
Barely an
Okay.
adult then.
Yeah, technically. I mean, that's like a technical thing. I think written rules as written, but like in this world, who knows? Maybe elves are mature at the same rate as humans, and they just live really long.
Physically, I think they do. Like the book. That's what
We're
the
just
book
gonna say
talks
that's
about.
how it happens.
That's fair.
I'm like about 100 years old.
Oh, same here. I'm about 118.
Wow. That's way older than me.
Yeah, you're like what?
2
and
weeks.
Yeah, he reads off the number again. It's like 1 month, 3 weeks, and like however many days and seconds, but he just writes it off or wrote it off.
He like pulls a receipt out of his ear.
It prints off.
It prints a receipt from his ear. He just.
You know what? Flavor. I like that. That's how it prints off. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have got some stuff I'd like to accomplish here on the Cheta, but I'd be down to go with you and investigate that star chart at some point.
For sure. Yeah.
I think that sounds like a fine adventure.
And he kind of just like perks up a little bit. He was like, I would really like that. Thank you.
I think that would be good. We should probably catch some sleep, but we should also probably set a watch just in case.
I can watch.
All right.
And in fact,
Blank, do you sleep?
Whoa, our party
Mostly.
barely needs sleep. Well, I'm the only one that needs sleep.
yeah. So well, also
So
as a
Blank,
warforged,
as a
yeah.
warforged, he doesn't really need to sleep. He goes into this thing called sentience rest. I believe
Yeah.
that's what it's called, or sentry's rest. But he stands there and kind of powers down. He doesn't move or like speak for 8 hours. I think it's 6. But he can keep his eyes and ears open the entire time.
Do you know if you have to, just like, are you locked down? Can you act right away type of thing?
I think there is like
I think-
there's not anything that says that there's like a reboot time or anything like that to like wake up.
So the way we're probably going to do it is he can wake up at any time, but
It's
that'll-
almost like a trance with the elves.
but that'll interrupt his long rest.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
like he said, his eyes and ears are wide open the whole time.
I mean,
Okay.
that's
I don't
what
necessarily
it
know.
does for normal people who are sleeping too.
Yeah.
That's true. If you
Oh
wake
shoot,
up-
I'm awake.
That's fair.
I don't necessarily, because you can't move around. So
I can't move
are
around,
you-
so I got like basically if you position me like up against a tree or something, I basically got view over all of you guys.
Okay.
Um,
It's just if something comes up from behind you.
yeah, if something comes up from behind me. That's why I'm saying like if I stood in front of a tree, like that would cover up most of the vision that I would be missing.
That's true. It's still
not perfect,
it's still not
right? and we
perfect,
could
but
still like
it's still
switch
pretty
out
good.
because
also
Vesper's
Dean's an
and-
elf too, so he only needs
Yeah.
4 hours.
So he
and
could- he
I'm
could
an
tag me in.
elf, but I need 8 hours.
Not a full-blooded elf.
Yeah.
He's still cool.
I think Blank, if you can keep watch, then I mean, unless we run into problems, I think you could just keep watch the whole time. Then, right?
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, your eyes and ears are open anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All of my sensory capabilities except movement would
Might as
be
well-
active.
okay. I'm gonna go to bed then. Thanks, Blank.
For sure, yeah.
All right. Okay, if that's how. All
Yeah.
right.
All right. Well,
If you'd like to wake up and join me for watch when you're rested, I'm more than okay with that as well. I
I'd-
probably
I'd-
won't say anything back.
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
fair.
You can't speak.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll
Okay.
see how much sleep I actually get.
There you go. All right. With that, the whole party goes to sleep, except for Blank, who goes into his weird sensory rest thing and watches over the camp. Nothing happens that night, and y'all wake up in the bright and early morning, getting ready for the hunt. And as you pack up camp, unless anyone wants a dialogue, we're going to go straight into the second skill challenge. And so, personally, I would prefer it if you made different skill choices. But I understand that like there's only so many skill choices you can associate with hunting.
Go for it.
Real fast, I did want to do something before we started.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm gonna go up to Vesper. Vesper, good morning.
How's it going?
Good. So you seem experienced with hunting. You've got your bow and everything. I don't know
Yes.
how hunting's going to go today, whether we're going to have to split up or whatever it may be, but I've got a certain ability that will help us keep in touch if we do split up. And he reaches up and he grabs, because we described once at the very beginning that he's got that golden wreath kind of growing out of his head, and there are a few like thorns on it that are maybe like half an inch long type of thing. And he goes and he plucks one and he pulls it off of the wreath, and then he hands it to you.
I take it carefully.
And then inside of your head you hear, "Hi Vesper, we can talk like this for about 10 miles distance."
Wow. Okay.
The messages are limited
He
to
says
about,
out loud.
Yeah. The message, and then I say out loud, the messages are limited to about 25 words per like instance, but you've got unlimited instances. I think I have to initiate it though.
As you're doing that and you're handing him handing Vesper the thorn, Blank's gonna wake up, and as he's like stretching, there's gonna be like pressure valves that like release, and they shh. So he's like stretching, and then he'll walk over to you guys.
Pressure valve. You're made of wood.
Yeah.
There's what is?
I don't know.
What
It's
is pressurized inside of you?
I don't know. Not hydraulics.
Maybe just the outside.
do you-
wood.
yeah,
The metal
no,
bits.
do you
The
have-
metal
The
bits.
metal
So
bits that are
what's
inside.
inside?
Like
I guess maybe you have machinery
the
inside, too.
skeleton, Yeah.
And okay, real quick, while he looks at the ability, let's clarify something. Where are your metal bits? Are they just like you got metal bits at each joint?
Yeah, I think at each joint, and then like very minimalistic on the inside, almost as like bones. Or,
Okay,
like, but like
Cool.
the outside is like
all wood.
all the redwood.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, like a puppet.
Kind of like a puppet. Yeah.
Is the metal that's connecting you? Are they like the rings, like from like a doll, like a marionette doll, or is it like?
It's probably like
creepy.
actual.
Or is it like an
hinges.
actual hinge?
It's probably more like an actual hinge.
Okay.
I kind of pictured like C-3PO, but instead of the metal plates, it's like different wood plates and stuff over what could be more mechanical and magical in nature.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Cass, for the magical thorn. We wanted to go for an elk today, right, guys?
Sure.
It
Elk
has
or
been.
deer
It
are
has
the
been.
left categories, right?
It's been a little while since we last met, so I will say, you did see the masked hunter get a massive elk.
So to clarify, he cannot message back.
Okay. So
I can message him 25 words or less, but infinitely within a 10-mile radius.
Sounds good. All right.
Are you saying like we would not want to do an elk because it's?
I am not saying
unwinnable?
anything. I am just saying what you saw. You saw the masked hunter bring in a massive elk.
Do you guys want to try and beat his elk?
That's probably a difficult task. What were the other game that we could get? There's deer, of course. Was there anything else?
Moose.
Is there
we got
boar
moose.
or any like, or is it all just like
It's not-
specifically like
There
deer
probably
type
are
things?
other animals here, but you know
Put
that
them
this
in
is supposed to be
categories.
a buck hunt.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
you're supposed to be bringing in the biggest rack of antlers.
Gotcha.
I guess
From
we should
each
go
category.
for the stag.
Oh, sounds good to
Don't
me.
go after my dad.
This is an audio podcast. We all turned and looked at Blank.
Should we go for a deer then? See if we can beat him in 2 categories.
Yeah, I think that would be wise.
That'll up our probability of winning.
Okay. I take out the seed and I make a survival check.
Okay.
What is there anything else I could take with that?
I would probably let you do a nature check as well, or investigation check if you wanted.
I'll do an.
I don't care too much. I just want more different flavors than what we did last time.
For sure.
Like if one or two overlap, that's okay.
Okay.
But everyone try to think of some delicious new flavors.
I'll do nature then.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and look for any kinds of, because it was a huge herd of deer and stuff.
Massive.
I'm gonna start looking for places. Well, also with the direction where the seed is pointing, but looking for places where maybe the grass has been eaten, or plants have been damaged by a large herd going through, or that kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, is that nature, or would that be survival?
It's more of survival, but I will let you roll a nature for it.
Okay. I'm like, how do I do it with nature?
I remember what grass is supposed to look like, and this doesn't look like regular
The
grass.
grass is leaning to the left, when in real life it should be pointing straight up.
It's a 9 total.
You, did you add the plus 10 from the seed?
Oh, I did not. It becomes 19.
Yeah, okay. So with the 19, you see there is a lot of grass. There is been a large herd moving through here, and they're all moving north. But you also notice, as you look through here, you can only find moose tracks. There are not tracks of any other beast.
It's because we went north again, dang it.
Maybe.
Should we go for another moose and try and get the top 3 slots for it?
I don't.
Because if we
Can we
get
win?
multiple
if we
points like
capitalize
that?
on that, we could
Y'all are
assure that
making me
we win
think
that
about
category.
the realistics of this game. I hadn't thought of
That
that.
doesn't. I don't think.
I don't think there would be anything against the rules for that if you got like first and second and third on the same category.
Because
So-
like all I'm saying is like if there's only moose over here, moosin, Mycin, right? Yeah. If those are the only things here, we can go after that and try and capitalize on what we've already got.
We've got all day though.
We do have all day.
How long do you think it would take to get to the east or west of the city? That's probably where we'll find either elk or deer.
Well, we're already 3 or 4 hours out of the way, so I assume it would probably be another hour or two for us to get close to where you're thinking about.
So probably about. Okay, we'll just plan for 4 hours,
Hmm.
and then that leaves us still most of the day to go hunting.
We do still have most of the day. Yeah.
So
And
I think
because you already
either,
moved out 4 hours away from town, you are already quite a bit out to the north.
So we just need to move in like a circular motion to get east.
Yeah.
Or diagonal, however we want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you guys want to move east then?
Yeah. Do
Or
any
do we
of
want
you
to get
remember? We should ask some people where they found the deer.
I hinted at that.
Well, whether we go east or west and we find deer or elk, it's still different from moose. So,
For sure.
do we flip a coin for it?
I've got some dice. And he pulls out the prism.
Sure.
That's not a die.
It's a D8
D4.
or a D4. Oh, so it's like a pyramid. It's not like.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought the prism was like
pyramid
this.
prism. Like what light would shoot in and then like a rainbow comes out of.
So you're talking
but
about
a
like.
star map comes out of it instead.
Got you. Okay. So should we go even and then odd?
Are there numbers on it?
No.
Never mind. Scratch that. Retcon that.
All right. Well, I've got a pair of dice. I actually do have a pair of dice. They are loaded dice, which I won't tell them. But evens east, odds
West?
west. It's a 6.
All right, looks like we're going east.
Translation. Cassiel gets to decide where we're going.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
Sure,
like
if you
his-
want.
Why? What was suspicious about that?
Or not an insight, but like a perception check to see like how the dice roll. Like
Sure, if you want.
it's a 9, yeah.
No, you can't tell it's loaded.
So what did I say? East?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we're headed east.
All right, so you all begin to rotate east. We'll say you travel for a couple hours. You're now in the eastern section of town. I need 2 more skill checks from Blank and
So I was thinking of doing Arcana check and checking for the animal's magic. Because I'm guessing since they're living, they would have at least some sort of like nature magic since I'm a druid.
And his magic is nature-based.
Because you're a druid, I will accept it, and I will let you try.
Phenomenal. All right. Nat 20!
For real?
Yeah, nat 20 plus 1.
Okay.
Boom.
You send out your sensory waves of your
It's
nature
radar
magic.
vision. He sees every animal bright red.
You
They're all highlighted.
Heat vision. You sense several animals out there. Their nature magic responds to yours. As you look out, you actually sense the golden stag out there as well.
Actually?
Yeah. But then as you go, you also sense something that is. It feels like magic, but gross. It's corrupted. It's the opposite of your nature magic. And it just like your senses when they react to it, it's like as if you held out your hand and someone put like a moldy, rotten banana in your hand and then shoved it into your face. Like that's how you feel. That kind of gross smell and just nastiness.
Nasty.
So he kind of like, as he's like sensing around to the different like forms of magic that are out in the forest, he senses his like big brother and he's like, cool. So like we'll stay away from that. And as he drifts his attention towards the other side that has this kind of gross magic, he tenses up and just kind of like locks in place, almost like Tin Man style, where he's just standing rigid.
Are you all right?
There is, I don't know how to describe it. It's odd, dark,
Is this something we avoid?
empty. Probably something we should avoid.
All right. Did you sense any elk or deer or?
You did sense several deer.
I did sense several deer as we keep going in this direction, heading a little bit more southeast. We'll be able to continue to reach some of those.
So, and Cassiel looks at both of you. So we're avoiding the gross magic thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
I don't want none of that.
By the way, you only sense that because of a nat 20.
No side quests, Trent.
Hey, that's fine. I'm not railroading. It's just
He's just going to railroad us because it starts charging us.
Cassiel almost died like the other day.
But hey, look, my job as a DM is just to make sure you know it's there.
Hey, if we run into it.
I'll roll a d20 for it.
Whoa, wait.
Okay, final skill for the skill check, though.
All right. I would like... This is weird because I'd like to do something to improve my perception, but what I'd like to do is use athletics or acrobatics, most likely athletics, and climb up a tree so that I can maybe get... find a tree that can maybe get good vision, then climb up it to see if I can't spot anything.
I like that combo.
The greatest adventure is what lies ahead.
Okay, no, copyright. Yeah, let's do this in a combo of 2 rolls. First in athletics.
Best cartoon ever.
True.
First in athletics, and depending on how good that athletics is, I'll give you a boost to your perception check.
Okay, sounds good.
As he's rolling, what is that?
It's from The Hobbit. Like
the old one?
1998
Okay, got you.
Hobbit movie.
Yeah.
So my strength is a -1,
Oh.
and I rolled a 9.
You find a tree and you climb up a little bit, and after climbing a little bit, you're like, all right, I'm good. But you're only like 10 or 15 feet off the ground.
Dang it.
How's the view up there?
I look down and I see it, and I'm not that high. I'm like, I'm not the best at climbing. I'm not high enough to see anything.
You can roll a perception check still. And with this perception check, you're 10, 15 feet off the ground. I'll give you a +1. I'll give you a +1.
Hey, that's 1 higher than my 0.
There you go. There you go.
16.
Okay.
Actually, I'm proficient.
Ooh.
So that's 18.
All right, you cast your gaze out, and as you look out, you see there is a small group of 3 or 4 deer, probably around like 800 feet away from you.
Do I see any racks?
Yes, you see. How many deer did I say? Did I say 3 or 4?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember.
I said it like 30 seconds ago. How did I forget?
You said a couple.
Yeah, you said a couple.
You
I
see
don't
a
think you
couple
said a
racks
number.
as well.
Okay.
And yeah, you can tell. You could probably say when you get closer, you might be able to pick out the biggest one, but they're all pretty much similar in size.
Okay. So I'm going to go down and relay that information.
Okay. All right. I will let. See.
You're the one with the ranged weapon.
All right.
Yes, he is the longest range. I will let you roll 2 attack rolls.
All right.
Unless anyone wants to try to get closer and make an attack, and help him. And if they do, roll a stealth check first. But if not, we'll just have him roll 2 with the bow.
I'll roll a stealth check.
Do you have any ranged cantrips?
He's gonna throw a chunk of coal at the deer.
Yeah, I do. I
His
do
flavored
have
produce flame.
Yeah, I have the flavored produce flame. So
What's the range of that?
Produce
I'm
flame?
gonna be honest.
Not
I think it's only like 60 feet.
Yeah,
Or
it's
30.
It's
It
not.
might be. It's not super far.
Um,
It's no firebolt.
30 feet.
Are you still going to try to stealth in?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stealth.
Vesper's going to
Unless-
ask you not to.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, Blank. The deer might hear you or see you within 30 feet.
But like the grass is tall.
It's not that tall.
I can crouch. That'll limit the vision for them by like 20%.
Yeah, but I could just take the shot when I get in range.
All right, I trust you.
Okay. The first one's a 12,
Okay.
and then it's a 19.
All right. Roll damage.
How many?
Both.
Both
It's a
of-
deer. It doesn't have the greatest
Yeah, I was
AC.
gonna 7,
It's dead.
3. Okay.
Yeah, it's dead. You with the first shot. So if you want, you can hit the second, different one with the 3.
Oh, I'm gonna hit the second one with a 3.
Okay, you hit one of them, and the moment you hit it, it just immediately starts falling to the ground. And then the other 3 deer, only one of them has a rack, immediately bolt away. You hit the other one right in the bum with the second shot, but it just scampers away even faster.
Okay. Did you
Yeah.
guys want to follow that deer or nah? I didn't hit it in a vital spot.
Did it look like
I mean, it's in the butt. That's going to be where the most meat is to cushion it, so it probably won't.
did the antlers look bigger than the one he felled?
They looked about the same.
If you think will be alright and it's not going to be suffering or anything, then I'm fine with leaving it.
I mean, it's got an arrow in it, so it might be suffering a little bit.
Is it going to get better? Or is it going to get infected and die eventually anyway?
I feel like the arrow would cause some damage over time. So should we try and track it down?
I feel like we should track it down.
All right,
We can trail it, and talking to Cassiel, we can trail it a little bit, and then he can follow us.
all right.
And
Alright,
You all start.
Just give me updates on your location.
sounds good with me.
All right.
Alright, let's go, Blink.
wait, how are we going to do that?
I gave him a little spell. I can talk to him in his head.
Yeah.
You can talk to him in his brain?
True, we just have to stay within 10 miles of him.
That's really cool.
And he can't respond. So
Oh.
it's a little one way, but it's still useful.
Is
That
this
is
a
really
really
useful,
big
yeah.
deer? Will I
Uh,
be able to take meat and the
It's-
antlers and follow them after I get those off?
It's average, so yes, you can.
Okay.
This is not like a massive deer or anything. It's
Yeah.
average.
Alright, Blink, how's your survival skills?
It's not hard to trace this thing. It's dripping blood. Go ahead and blank roll a quick survival check.
Can I help him?
Yeah, you can have advantage because Cassiel is helping.
Oh, that was good, because that was a 3. Ooh, 18. 21.
All right, yeah, you manage to track it, and as you move, you sense that this deer is slowly moving closer to that corrupted thing.
Oh, he still senses that corrupted thing?
He doesn't sense it, but he knows it's moving in that direction.
Alright, Blink, I think we're getting close enough. I could maybe stealth ahead, get within 60 feet, and hit it with a card and put it out of its misery.
All right, just be careful, though, because we are getting closer to the
Okay,
oddity.
keep an eye on me then.
I will do that for sure.
Don't let me die.
All right, they continue to move forward. Real quick, Vesper, can you roll a survival check? I want to see how long it's going to take you to harvest this deer.
21.
Yo, okay, you harvest this deer real quick. So yeah, you.
I should have given myself expertise on survival instead of perception.
Yeah.
Hey, perception is going to be helpful later in the game.
Yeah,
this
that's
is like
true.
only one scenario.
My stealth is a 19 to get closer to it.
All right. We'll say Vesper, you can probably catch up to them. You'll probably only be around 10-ish minutes behind them.
Sounds good. I'll be slower too because I'm holding.
That's true.
Deer.
Maybe 15-ish minutes.
Can I get within 60 feet of it with that stealth?
With that stealth, you can get within 60 feet of it. However, I need to describe a scene for you.
Good thing I'm hidden.
You are hidden, and so you're crouching. You're still following the trail. You're going from bush to bush. Eventually, you stick your head out and you look at where the deer should be, and you see the deer, but it is dead on the ground. And you see, standing over it, is another deer. But this deer is different. This deer is probably twice as big as the other deer. Its fur is black, but it's also patchy, almost as if some parts of it has fallen out, and in place of that, almost like a black carapace is starting to form. It has two sets of antlers coming out of its head. One is pointing up, and the other is pointing out, as if specialized to charge and stab someone. Its mouth is grotesquely split in 4 directions, and it is feasting on the deer beneath it. Its front body is twice as big as its back body. It's massive. And out of its back legs, you see 2 extra legs that are starting to grow. But they are not that far out yet. They are, like, not even touching the ground yet.
This is some crazy Stranger Things thing.
Yeah, it's creepy.
With that stealth check, it does not see you.
Am I in pain?
You are in pain. And this is where we are going to end the episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
If you had
creepy thing. Is that an actual monster or is it homebrew?
Oh, no, that's homebrew.
Okay.
That's homebrew, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no
So
way
it's like
that
a
actually
skinwalker on steroids? Like, what is this?
So,
It's Stag's true form.
Dad!
No, so for a little bit of lore sprinkled in there, this is one of the corrupted, which, world lore-wise, the Templar hunt down the corrupted. And the corrupted become corrupted by this black mist called the corruption, which seeps into living creatures, that mainly animals because they're not as intelligent, and then it takes control of their body and mutates them drastically. So, the Templars fight against those creatures and hunt them down. Yeah, that's a brief little thing about the corrupted. Anyways, we are ending the episode, though, so thank you so much for everyone for listening. If you enjoyed what we were doing here, please leave us a 5-star review or tell your friends about us, and we would appreciate that. If you want to send us a longer message, you can send us an email at channeldivinitypodcast@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us over Twitter or Instagram, so we have social media accounts on both of those platforms. If you want to give me a name, that way I do not have to come up with names, I would be much appreciated. You can either give us your name or a cool name that you came up with. Send that in a review or an email, and I'll try to pick out the ones that fit best. I don't know how many people are going to send those in. Hopefully a lot, though. That's it for us. Oh, real quick, we've got a special message from our editor.
Yeah, so that's me, Dean. I'm working on getting sound effects, so you might hear a pre-recorded message in the last episodes, or post-recorded, I guess, where I just explain this. But we're getting our sound effects from this cool website called freesounds.org. I can't remember if there's an S or not. We will have a link to our website in the podcast description for the episode, and on our website we'll have all of the attributions for like who made each sound effect. There's this special thing called a Creative Commons license that lets us use them, which is really nice that artists are, creating stuff that we can use. So yeah, if you wanted, you can check those out for your own podcast or your own D&D usage. But yeah, you can find that on our website.
Awesome. Thank you so much. To complete going around the table, we have
I'm David. I play Cassiel.
I'm Dean. I play Vesper.
I'm Gordon, and I play Blank.
We'll see y'all next time.
Keep tuning in.